Just a trickle now getting through the traffic mess on 128 northbound Westwood.
In Newton, Massachusetts, as in most places, the old workday hours of 9 to 5 are long gone. At the Aronson Insurance Agency here, employees get in early. On a Friday the 13th in January 2 years ago, insurance agent Ed Schiller arrived around 7:30 a.m. and parked, as he did every day, in the garage next to the office. He made a few phone calls from the car, and then, while still in the driver's seat, he was murdered, execution style. One bullet to the head killed him instantly.
911, this call's recorded. Where's your emergency?
Two female co-workers discovered the grisly scene and called 911.
Shot, I don't know. He's in the car in his garage. 345 Boylston Street, in the parking garage.
345 Boylston Street?
Yep.
Ed's brother Carl is contacted and calls in. The police answer.
He simply came on and said, "Your brother's deceased." And I think I swore at him. I didn't believe him. And I remember shouting at the top of my lungs, "What do I do? What do I do now?"
It was a murder that stunned Newton, a city of 80,000 people that had just been named the safest city in America. Beyond the shock, there was heartbreak for the woman who had been with Ed just the night before at a place called the Wildwood Steakhouse, Stacy Rock.
I had just spoken to Ed on the phone, and I imagined that it happened right after he hung up.
What did he say?
We were just talking about the night.
And what was that evening like?
It was good. We both vowed that the next time we got together there was going to be no talking. You know, just hugging and whatever.
And then you said goodbye?
Yep.
Stacy Rock and Ed Schiller were high school sweethearts. In Stacy's yearbook, she wrote, "Ed, you are my world. I love you forever."
He was just my soulmate. I just remember seeing him and being like, yeah, love at first sight.
It was a romance that lasted well after the prom, and 6 years after high school, Ed and Stacy started living together. Friends say that proved to be combustible, and the relationship imploded into bitter jealousies and passionate arguments. Eventually, Stacy asked Ed to move out.
He was very bitter about how they ended their relationship. And you know, she did move on.
After years of a tumultuous relationship with Ed, Stacy was looking for stability, security, and someone who wanted to start a family. She thought she'd found all of that while tending bar at the Wayland Country Club when she met Jim Brescia.
He was very persistent, kind of charming, funny. Seemed really nice.
He's much older than you?
9 years.
Was that part of the allure, the excitement of dating an older man who seemed settled and stable, had a good job?
I believe that was definitely one of the things that he pushed, and I believed.
Stacy quickly got pregnant, and she and Jim Brescia married 4 months before their first child was born. He became a successful middle manager at the defense contractor Raytheon, and the couple had 2 more children. But behind a facade of suburban contentment, Stacy says she felt both intimidated and ignored.
Nothing worse than being lonely but not alone. You know what I mean? I can remember asking why he didn't kiss me. You know, he wasn't very affectionate, but I remember going, oh my gosh, what have I done?
I used to run into her at the grocery store while she was married, but she had said things weren't going too well, and I know she always wanted to ask me she wouldn't ask me until the end, how's Ed doing? I miss Ed, how is he?
Well, Ed was always on my mind. I always loved Ed.
Even while you were married?
Yeah, and then I started having dreams of him, and there was a song on the radio that meant a lot to me, so I sent him a postcard.
Which song was it?
White Flag by Dido.
I know you think that I shouldn't still love you. I'll tell you that
After 6 years of an unhappy marriage, Stacy was reaching out yet again to the man she calls her one true love.
I just wanted him to know that I love him.
And then you wrote a letter after that?
Yes. I called him. The first time I heard his voice, I was just so in love. And he loved me still.
Did he say that?
Yep.
Stacy says she didn't immediately tell Ed how unhappy she was in her marriage or that she had tried to divorce Jim Brescia in 2003, but backed down when she says he threatened to turn the children against her. After hearing from Stacy, Ed would sometimes drive by her house and rev his motorcycle just to let her know he was around.
He told me that he was riding by our house and that he saw the two of them arguing in the driveway. And so Ed turned around and drove back up and stopped and asked if everything was okay. Jim Brescia said, you know, who the hell are you? And he said, I'm Joe Schmo from Idaho, what's it to you? And Ed left.
Jim and I were out in the driveway.
Did he know at that point that you were in contact with Ed?
That came out pretty quickly when he told me that if Ed and I end up together, it won't be good for his health.
Did you believe that he might actually harm Ed?
No, I just thought it was talk, big man talk.
2 years after sending Ed that postcard, Stacy got the courage to go through with divorce proceedings. Jim Brescia, she says, bitterly moved out. With her divorce underway, Stacy started seeing Ed again, often at a favorite haunt. Ed's friends worried that in her exit from a bad marriage, Stacy was luring Ed back into an entanglement that could break his heart again.
99.9% of Ed's friends would have told him to, you know, abort that mission as quickly as he possibly could. You know, we had watched Ed be really hurt over Stacy, and none of us wanted to see that happen again.
What happened to Ed Schiller in the parking garage that January morning was worse than anything his friends had feared, and they wondered if Stacy had been inadvertently responsible.
I couldn't allow myself to believe that. I mean, it's horrible, devastating that Ed's gone, but it can't be because of me. You know?